episode 141.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have two brothers with us today, Jacob and Jason White. Hi, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing good here in St. Louis. Jacob, you doing all right?
Doing great in West Virginia.
Good. And I know, Ali, you guys are getting ready for the Water Fight Festival.
It is like the whole country stops to shoot water at each other. It is mental. You can't go anywhere without getting wet. So, yeah, as always, I'm leading a very hard life in Thailand.
That's right. We all feel badly for you.
I've heard the birds chirping in the background.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to get them to do an orchestra, but they're just, they're not trained yet.
That's right.
We had snow 2 days ago.
All right. Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah, right.
So Jacob and Jason are brothers living in different cities. They have shared a social media presence, but have separate businesses and eBay stores. They have both completed an antiques appraisal course, but sell anything they can find on eBay, whether old or new.
Wow. So what's that appraisal course thing? What do you do? Is it like a government thing or something, is it? Or
No, it was a private course that we took that was basically an online type of course dealing mainly with antique appraisal.
So they teach you so this is a real 1920 Queen Victoria coffee cup.
That's right. Yeah, mainly dealt with true antiques, 100 years old or more.
Wow. Okay. And so I guess that helps you. I mean, you guys go to estate sales then and things like that, or where do you actually source from?
Yeah, we mainly go to estate sales, auctions. I love auctions. And while we both started kind of with looking at the old items, the antiques, the relics, if you call them that, we've realized that we were too focused on just one line and decided to broaden out. And now we pretty much sell whatever sells.
We can see, yeah. Both of you, yeah?
Yeah, both of us. And I actually do, estate sales, yard sales. We go to auctions also here in Tennessee. I actually buy storage units too.
Oh, cool.
So wherever I feel like we can source, wherever we think we can make a profit, we go after.
Oh, I love it. God, hear you, Ron. You're doing your kung fu mute thing again.
Yeah, I'm just checking that mute button. It works. So Jason, you have you been on TV with the Storage Wars yet? I mean, have you made fame and fortune with that stuff?
No fame and fortune, was never on Storage Wars, no. But, storage, I enjoy storage auctions. It's just another way. Some people retail arbitrage, which we've done in the past. Some people buy at estate sales. Some people buy at thrift stores, which we do all that. To us, it's just another avenue. That's all it is.
I would imagine it's nerve-wracking and exciting at the exact same time, right?
It is. And now the online or most of the storage auctions have moved online. So what you see on TV still happens some, but most of it is online. So the auction company that's holding the storage auction posts many pictures of each unit, but as if you're standing at the door. They don't go inside.
Nice.
So you see a bunch of pictures and you can zoom in. And what it really helps in now is you can actually zoom in a lot and get a lot of research done. You can find little markers on boxes or little numbers that you can research and take it back to a product of some sort and hope that product is actually in there.
They can hear you now, right?
They're listening to right. Take dark pictures. Don't show them what's in there at all. So this is great. So I'm looking at both of your stores. We got Rust and Relics is one, and Rust and Relics Revival is the other one. So do you ever find you compete? You're sort of selling something and then you're actually competing against each other? I mean, is there a family war happening here?
No, we like to compare numbers, but I tell you what, there's so many varied things that we both sell that it's rare that we have kind of the same item up. Yeah. Matter of fact, but what's interesting about it is we bounce things off each other all the time. Just yesterday I was texting Jason about a pair of blue tab Levi's that I found. I'd never seen blue tab Levi's. And so we're kind of bouncing things off each other. And we're, hey, we're brothers and we get along still, so might as well use each other.
That's really cool. So I know you guys are in different cities. Are you both in Tennessee, or are you in different states too?
No, Jason's in Tennessee and I'm in West Virginia, so we're about 6 hours apart.
Wow. So how did you guys come together with the social media? How did you guys figure out that, if you guys worked together on that, it would be a bonus for both of you? How'd that story come about?
Well, I'll start this story. So I lost my job in 2011, and I had bought and sold a few things on eBay, but nothing big at all. I've been going to yard sales since I was in college and always enjoyed yard sales. But when I lost my job, I was on the job posting boards every day. And there's only so many times you can hit refresh, waiting for the next post. I'm like, I've got to do something because I was driving myself crazy.
Yep.
And I'd been watching Storage Wars and American Pickers and Antiques Roadshow and all the different shows that were on, and thought, you know what, I'm going to go out and see what I can do. And went to my first auction, bought a few things, and instantly the first thing I posted on eBay sold within 24 hours. And I was like, oh my goodness, talking to my wife, oh my goodness, we've got something here. We might be able to at least help with the bills until I can find a job.
Right.
Yeah, and it took me 8 months to find a job. And luckily, if it weren't for all the buying and selling we were doing, and who knows what type of shape we were in, but it actually sustained us. Now, if I had known now or knew then what I know now, there's a good chance I would have never gone back to the corporate world.
Why would you?
Because I was so new to eBay and so new to the whole online game. But it really got us through a point. But Jacob, I'll let him take the story from here because Jacob thought I was
and this is when Jacob came in.
Yeah. You gotta rib your brother when you can. So I would send him clips of Sanford and Son and make fun of him. Until I realized, hey, you bought something for $2 and sold it for $75 or $100, and then my ears kind of perked up.
The ribbon comes back, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah, I had to swallow my words on that.
So then you just joined in, did you? You created your own store and just started as well.
Well, he kind of got me involved. I went to Tennessee, and I think we went to an auction with the family down in Tennessee, and just kind of got a feel for it. And I was, of course, intimidated what was going on. I had no clue what was going on. And we came back to West Virginia. My wife and I talked about it, and we decided we're going to put in $200 and just see what happens. If we lose $200, well, we've lost a couple $100. It's not the end of the world, but we made that $200 back really, really fast and kept on going, never looked back.
Yeah, now addicted.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. So when you guys both started, I want to hear from both of you guys on this. Like, as far as what was the most intimidating thing about the process of getting your products on eBay?
For me, because I was dealing so much in antiques at that point, we hadn't branched out to everything else we do now. I was scared of all the stories I heard about fakes and reproductions being out there.
Yep.
Right.
And I was scared of the research. Am I really researching apples for apples? Well, this one looks the same, but this one's actually orange, this one's yellow. And in the antiques world, some glass piece that was made, there may be millions made of one color and only 10 made of the other. Am I pricing it too low?
Yeah.
And so at that time, I wouldn't touch buy it now. So I did everything auction because I was afraid to leave money on the table. Our model has completely changed since then, as our entire business has changed since then. But that was my biggest fear when I started.
That's a real
one. How about
one.
you, Jacob?
Well, I mean, for me, it was the whole process of going to auctions. I mean, to me, going to an auction and bidding on something and making sure that you didn't get caught up in the craze, but you had your fixed point and would stop. It was a little bit of a challenge to be able to know where your limit is and then making sure you can make that money.
Yeah, you don't get to stop the auctioneer and say, hang on a second, let me look at my phone real quick and see if I'm going higher. It's a little faster than that.
But how do you start? I mean, if it was me, I'd be compulsively waving that little baton in the air, because I want to beat that guy. He's now bidding against me. I'm going to show him. I mean, how do you keep your ego out of it?
Jacob, I'm going to let Jacob tell the story, but I will say this. I'm around auctions all the time, and I think Jacob is even better than I am at auctions. He is one of the most calculating and does more research than anyone I've ever seen going to every auction. So, Jacob, tell about your process because you are the pro when it comes to auctions.
Is he paying you to say that?
Well, I mean, Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's all about the research. Most auctions, most of them post their pictures on auctionzip.com. And so you can get on there and do the research. And I've taken the time, usually whenever, especially a higher end auction, to make sure I do that research. And sometimes you find nuggets that nobody else knows about.
Yep.
Or once in a while, you might find an item that you can't even find on eBay. And so we have other avenues like WorthPoint that we subscribe to that you can find some of those items.
Love it.
And it kind of gives you a one up at those auctions that you might know something, but nobody else can really find that item, so they don't know.
Definitely.
And we bounce things off of each other too. Like if I see something in a picture that I have no idea, I'll immediately text him in the middle of an auction, say, hey, know anything about this? And if he's home, he'll jump on his laptop and start researching right there for me. And I do the same for him. So
Spies.
It's network, but it's a little closer than networks because we're brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
How hard is it when you're at an auction? How hard is it? I always wonder because I don't really go to auctions a whole lot. But let's just say they start with $200, and you want this thing, and it's worth $200. But how hard is it not to just jump in the ring and wait for somebody else to hit that first notch? Because I think I'd want to let them go from 200 to 150 to 100. But as soon as you start at 200, now you just close the door, right?
Yeah.
I'm never the first one to bid in. I'm never the first one. If it's going to go down to $10 and then nobody else bids, by golly, I'm going to let it go down as far as I can let it go down.
That's right. That's right.
So what's
I'm never the first to bid.
What's an average day then? So you're both at these auctions, or you're doing these, these lockers and things like that. So you get your stuff, you buy all this stuff. What's your action from there to get it on eBay, to taking the pictures, to listing it, to shipping it, to hearing that ka-ching? I mean, what's because this is the part that most people struggle about. Everybody enjoys going out, getting the product, standing at those auctions. Oh, I got to list the thing. So I mean, how do you do it for both of you?
Well, I've created monsters. So I eventually got Jacob into, eBay and online selling. Then now my wife is completely committed to it. She's helping list and take photos, and Jacob and his wife are listing and taking photos, and we've got our kids helping box. Both his kids and my kids are helping box. When I buy a storage auction, sometimes you have trash. Today, my son took a load of trash to the dump or to Goodwill if we've got a lot, leftover stuff that we want to donate. It's definitely a family affair, but we're constantly listing it. To us is the most important thing. It's easy to find merchandise, but you've got to be listing every day and keeping those metrics up, for eBay to see that you're listing every day. So
roughly how many are you listing, do you think, roughly per day?
So Jacob and I are both in the corporate world, and so we try to get 15 to 20 between us, me and my wife, 15 to 20 listings completely done a day.
Cool.
That doesn't always happen. I travel a lot, but sometimes when we're get to a weekend, we may both have a lot of drafts ready to go. And then on a weekend, we'll try to get 30 to 50 items, just depending on what's going on.
Yep.
Jacob?
Wow.
Our business, I guess our business model, where it would maybe stray from Jason's just a little bit, is that we don't do quite as much volume, but we try to get some of the higher end items, the higher priced items.
Yep.
And so what was interesting, I just came back from visiting Jason, and we were looking at our numbers, and our numbers for the 90 days was within dollars of sales. Wow. Jason sold 250 items, and I sold 150 items. So, and I'm not saying that's more work for Jason shipping an extra 100 items, because he can throw a lot of his in clothes in bags, and just ship them out real fast. Sometimes it maybe take me a couple hours to box up some of these things I'm buying, more delicate things or glass or, some of the stuff like that. And so it's, I'm not saying one way is better than the other. It's just whatever works for each person.
Yeah. That's a great thing.
Yeah, that's really cool that you guys are able to do that. You're able to work together, and and support, man. I would imagine, on a slow week, man, you're calling each other, going, man, this really stinks. I'm having a bad week, and just that moral support, man, for each other, man, backing each other up. I would imagine that's got to be a big part of what you guys do together, man. That's got to be cool.
Yeah, without a doubt. We are constantly, if we're having a bad week or bad numbers, or we realize after the fact that we left a lot of money on the table, we call it our stupid tax, or our education the hard way.
Yeah. That's how you learn.
And it happens, the good thing is, Jacob says all the time, we've never really lost money educating ourselves. So even though we may have lost money on a certain item, sometimes maybe it's just the profit margin isn't as high as we should have gotten, but we still maybe made a few bucks on it. So we'll take that any day.
That's how you learn, though, isn't it? I mean, that's how you know. And what about the shipping then? So do you do it once a day? Does the postman, or what do you call it? I'm learning American. Mailman, does he come around your house and collect the boxes? Are you down there? I mean, what's your process? They must love you.
Yeah, I know Jason's mailman. I think they know each other on a first name basis. We live out in the middle of the country, and so my wife, she is going into town, which is few miles away, but she goes in and with the kids and everything. So she'll a lot of times just drop the boxes off at the post room anyway. But our postal carrier does pick up some of ours as well.
Nice.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
So, you have an idea, a big idea, and you're ready to jump into the world of e-commerce. Awesome. But where to start? The answer is only a click away. At solutionsforecommerce.com, you'll find available services to help manage, audit, or even build your e-commerce site from the ground up. With over 10 years of experience in developing and managing channels on sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and Etsy, Solutions for E-commerce can help you to grow your small or large business. Take a step back from the technical and do what you do best, and let Solutions for E-commerce handle the tedious stuff like creating, reviewing, adding, or removing listings, setting up or organizing store categories, even merchandising and customer support. Find out why their clients say that their business wouldn't be what it is today without the help from Solutions for E-commerce. Visit solutionsforecommerce.com and take your e-commerce business to the next level. That's solutions, the number 4, ecommerce.com. Use promo code eBay at checkout for an exclusive So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast discount.
Be sure to check out So You Want to Sell on eBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So, Jason, do you treat your mailman well at Christmas time?
We do. We treat him really well. Every Christmas, we give him a really good gift, and it's a gift card, we'll say that, and really take care of him. And we've actually, we know he knows all about our family. We know about his family and his kids now. Yeah. Over the years, we've actually developed he'll text when he's getting close and say, hey, I've got, a bunch of boxes for you from if we order supplies from the post office, he said, I've got a bunch of boxes. I'm going to meet you at your driveway. And he'll pull right into the driveway at the garage so we can unload.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And it helps to have those relationships. It makes your business a lot easier, and he is part of our business now.
It really does make it a lot easier. And, a lot of people might laugh at that, but, the reality of it is, if you didn't treat this guy like, or gal like you do, then you'd be walking the boxes from the curb to your garage door instead of letting them back up into your garage. It's just the little things like that. Plus, you know what? It's really kind of cool to treat people like people, man. Everybody's doing their job. Everybody's trying to make things work. Let's treat everybody nice and with respect, and the respect comes back around.
Oh, without a doubt.
So what's the weirdest, I like to get, because Ron's been stealing my questions lately, so what's the weirdest thing that you've both sold? You must have seen some stuff in, auctions and stuff, so both of you, what's the weirdest thing, or the thing that you didn't think would make any money and it made a lot? One of those types of products.
Well, I'll go first. Actually, Jason was with me whenever I purchased this item. It was at a thrift store, and it was a bust of Richard Nixon. But it was hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So there was 3 faces.
Oh my
of Nixon
goodness!
With the hands in the right spots at each of those faces. But it was a wax candle, and it was called Scandals Candles.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So I bought it for I bought it for $10 or $15, and turned around and sold it for over $100.
Nice.
And the person that bought it was thrilled to death and said that their mother had been looking for one since 1970.
No.
Whenever they got rid of she sold hers or got rid of it or lost it or something. And they finally found one and were thrilled to death.
I love
That's
it.
crazy. How about you, Jason? Top that,
You know
brother.
what? I can't top it. And, I was even asking my wife in preparation for this because Jacob and I, by the way, are big fans. We listen to you all every week and have for over 2 years probably
Nice.
now.
Oh, wow.
And
Thanks.
My wife and I were talking like, I know we're going to get asked what the weirdest thing we've ever sold is. And neither one of us, like, we've sold a couple of taxidermy things, but they're,
Okay.
I'm in the South, so taxidermy here is pretty commonplace. So I've never really sold. I've seen some weird things and some that you probably don't want to talk about on a family show.
I'll bet you have.
But yeah, especially in some of these storage lockers. But have never really sold anything too out there.
Nice. You two look like you have so much fun. I mean, it's awesome. You got this family thing going. You got your wives and your kids going with it. You're bouncing off ideas. I just think it's great. And like you said, this is an avenue where you can just make some extra bucks that's how it starts to pay the bills. And then suddenly it becomes this obsessive compulsive lifestyle that you can't stop living.
Well, it allows my wife, I know, to stay at home with the kids and work from the house. She had a stroke about a year ago. She's doing great. But she babysat in the house for a while and felt like she couldn't do that anymore, with the small kids. Well, she's really taken into this eBay and is taking pictures all the time. Matter of fact, she took pictures today, and during my lunch hour here at work, she sent me the measurements and dimensions, and I threw those listings up, and her pictures were already there. So it's a big team effort, and it allows her to stay at home too.
Well, that's awesome, man. And you know what? There is hope that, we have interviewed a lot of people who have, had corporate jobs and started selling around the house. And, they have been able to leave the corporate world. So I know I'm in the corporate world still, too, my guy. So I know that's a goal for me. But, obviously you got to prepare for things like that. And the hope is real. I mean, it can happen.
Well, it's a good thing Jason and I don't live closer together because it probably would be probably come to fruition a lot quicker.
Yeah, and same with my wife and is the same way. When Jacob and Heather and the kids came down, we all one day we're like, what are we going to do? And instantly, let's all go thrifting. And so all four of us went and hit a thrift store, and we're all taking different sections. And the first thing we do is go up to the front, check out, and start comparing. Like, what'd you get? What'd you get? We both have two big carts full of stuff. It was a fun day. And my wife and I, our date days now are like, what's a new thrift store we haven't been to? That's our date. Yeah. So
Hey, but you know what? That's really cool because you know what? And seriously, we kind of giggle about that, but that's really cool that each of you have partners that are on board with what you're doing. That's one of the biggest frustrating things that we hear about occasionally is that, I'm doing this. My wife doesn't really approve of it. She doesn't want any part of it and that kind of thing. And I can only imagine that, I'm blessed to have a wife that supports me in anything I do, but I can understand where that would be really, really frustrating to be in this, see that there is great hope for this. And, if we both get together and work on this, we can do something together. But, if the other one doesn't see it, it's not the lifestyle that you guys are living right now.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Yep.
I mean, just that support. And like you were talking about earlier, having not just Jason to bounce things off of, but having your wife right there in the same room, it makes a big difference.
Definitely. So,
to be able to share the...
So for the new person, because you're both sort of you sort of figured it out that you could pull in some extra income. So for the new person who's listening, who's maybe just starting out on eBay, you got any little tips to how to maybe get into the world of going out and finding products or, keep maintaining that sort of discipline on getting stuff on? Because it's confusing. There's so many little, it's not overly confusing, but there's so many little processes from buying the product to making a profit to keeping the inventory to getting the pictures taken to getting on eBay to getting it out. So is there any sort of little tips and tricks you could offer some people?
Well, I've heard it's...
You go ahead first, Jacob. I've got
flip a coin.
I've heard it said many times that you make your money when you buy the item.
Yep.
And so what that means is, if you buy something for too much, it's only going to really sell for what it's going to sell for, and you don't have a whole lot of control in that. But you have a lot of control on what you buy something for, and that really comes into play at auctions. So, my biggest suggestion would be to read, and after you get done reading, read some more, whether it's price guides or online forums. or books on subjects about, whether it's antique items or vintage items, particular potteries or glass, that's one thing Jason and I both have really done. We have bookshelves full of books that we've read, and we don't lose that knowledge, and that's something that you always have with you.
Love it.
Well, for someone starting off, I think that there are two things. Number one is start with stuff you know. If you're someone who played baseball your whole life and these aluminum bats are the best and these gloves are what people want or whatever it might be, these cleats are the hot cleats right now. If that's what start there. That's the easiest thing, is to start with things and continually to grow on that. But also you got to know your numbers. You got to know all your numbers of what you're buying for, what you're selling for, what are the fees, what's shipping. And really, there's so many resources online. Jacob and I couldn't have done this without podcasts like yours, without YouTube. I'm on YouTube still every day in the morning. I'm on YouTube for an hour a day in the morning, starting around 5:30 in the morning, watching YouTube videos from various eBay sellers or thrifters or whatever, and just to learn things. Yep. And knowing your numbers is said by everyone, and it is so true.
Yeah, and I know that it gets easier when you get to a point where you can afford a store, right? Where you're actually making enough sales to have the store. But to the person who isn't quite there yet, getting those fees in order and understanding, all the fees are involved and what profit did I make? I bought it for this, I sold it for this, the fees are this. Is there an easy way, that might be able to help someone like that, figure out what their actual profit is? Well,
I've got a spreadsheet that I've created. I'm a bit of a numbers geek when it comes to that. And so
I love it.
I've got my own spreadsheet I've developed that has the purchase, the item, how much I purchased it for, what I sold it for, and then it figures the fees automatically. The percentages for eBay, PayPal, those fees can be easily found online. You can just do a quick search and see what those fees are.
Yep.
And so those fees are plugged into my spreadsheet. So for each item I sell, I know exactly how much I make on that item.
That's a good idea, because Excel is a powerful tool. And
it's very powerful.
It's really not complicated what you're asking it to do right there. So that's probably a pretty easy formula.
It really is.
Yeah, his spreadsheet too. He showed me yet again at Easter when he was here a couple weeks ago. He showed me his latest greatest revision. Like he said, he's a tinkerer when it comes to these numbers. It's just constantly this spreadsheet is probably, if you had a revision note, it'd be like revision 2600 or something.
I'm the same way though, man. I'm on your team, man. Listen, I create calculators in Excel and I'm tweaking them all the time, man. I'm making them bigger and better all the time.
Charts. Yeah, you gotta have all this.
But now his spreadsheet is so automated. When you type in a few little columns, everything populates for your monthly, for your taxes, for your year-end stuff, for your profit and loss statements. It's automatically populated now. It's amazing where he's taking the spreadsheet.
Did he give you a copy?
Yes, he did.
He did, yes. He gave me a copy. That would have been horrible, wouldn't it? Look at my spreadsheet. Where's yours? Oh, look, bold font.
Yeah,
that's right.
And my wife this morning started importing a lot of stuff into the new spreadsheet. And unfortunately, we are starting in April. So we've got the first quarter to go back and add a ton of items. But it's going to be worth it.
Nice. Love it.
Very cool. Very cool. So you guys sound like you guys, work in harmony. This is really kind of cool because you guys, work differently in your own eBay stores. But let's talk about the social media, because I think you guys say you collaborate on the social media. How does that work for you?
Well, we've got the website, and the easiest way to get to any social media or even our eBay is through our website. And so we've got links in there to Facebook, Instagram. And, we like to post pictures as often as we can. And, if I'm at an auction, I just take a general overall picture or maybe an interesting picture of an item or whatever it is, and just kind of keep that fresh and keep that in front of people so they can see what we're doing.
Yep.
And then have those interconnected links to where if you go to the website, you can get to all of it.
We haven't done it in a while, but there's been a few times where we've almost had a war online. Like Jacob will post a picture and say, "Hey, I just bought this. What about you?" And then 30 seconds later, I'm posting, "Well, I just bought this." And it's created a little bit of a fun rivalry too, and it's a little competition too.
Keeps you
both
We're
still brothers.
Yeah. It keeps you both like one above, but it keeps you actually working harder as well, doesn't it? I mean, it's
you got to one up him.
Yeah, I beat my brother today. Yes, I went to bed winning. So before we go, the last question that I always like to ask here is where do you see yourself in the future then? Are you going to leave the corporate world? Are you going to expand this? Are you going to join together? I mean, what's your plans?
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask Jason and I, the plans are, buddy, we're going into business and getting together and doing this full time. And yeah, the wives are the ones that say, you got to make sure you do this and you got to make sure you do that. And I'm like, oh, that's right, So we got those bills and.
Yeah, well, go ahead and say what you want about the wives because they probably won't even listen to this episode.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. But I tell you, if we were, like I said before, if we were in the same town, I'm sure we'd be doing this full time. But in all reality, at least for us, for right now, they talk about having multiple streams of income, whether it be Amazon or eBay or different platforms. Well, for us, I have a full-time job, and this is just another stream of income, really, for our family. And that's how we're looking at it right now. But as far as in the future, I definitely see, once the kids are grown, maybe out of the house, early retirement.
Right, definitely.
Full time.
Yeah, we're the same way. We've already got sort of a 5-year plan. In 5 years, our last will be through college. He's getting ready to be a senior this year, so in high school. So 5 years from now, he'll be done with college, and that's what we're looking at is having everything financially in order and enough savings to live off of if we need to, as we're really having to pay the first year or two of bills while starting a full-time gig. But the way our businesses have grown year over year, by that point, it may just make sense to quit anyway. At the rates we're both trending, and yet again, being numbers people, at the rates we're going and the year over year growth, that's what we're both hoping is within 5 years, it'd be a natural quit anyway.
Beautiful. I mean, that's great. And we'd love, we've run out of time, but we'd love to get you back on the show when you're doing that. I mean, you guys are just taking this seriously. You're making, the thing that me and Ron always talk about is you making your family part of it. It's that, and you're teaching your kids that entrepreneurial spirit where, you can do this these days in the day and age we live in. You can make money online. And you're just proving it. Another one that just proven. So thanks so much, Jason and Jacob, for joining us. I mean, it's great to have you on it. This is the first ever 4-way type of podcast in 4 different places. It's awesome. And it works.
Awesome. Technology is amazing. We really appreciate you all having us on. We've really enjoyed this.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get you back. We'll post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/show notes. So Jason and Jacob, I don't know if it's together or separate. How can people contact you here?
RustandRelicsRevival.com has all our social media presence, both of our eBay stores. So RustandRelicsRevival.com.
Cool. Okay, well, we'll put that on the show notes page, so make sure you go over and check it out. Once again, Jason, Jacob, thank you so much for joining. I mean, it's amazing how much you look like each other. We should sometimes do video, Ron, I think. But they look similar. One's got a beard and the other one hasn't, but apart from that, everything's the same.
Ollie, you and I are looking pretty similar, too.
Yeah.
The hair, beard.
You've got a sexier beard than mine.
I had a beard a couple years ago, but I had to get rid of it. I didn't want to look too much like him.
Yeah. You don't want to be caught. Mine curls at the end. I can't seem to keep it straight. So.
Ali.
Yes,
Ali,
sorry. I'm
Ali.
always. It's not me, Ron. It was them. It's them this time. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro Voice Works.